Usually I wore a lot of perfumes in a month, but some months a few fragrances just stick. They haunt you in a good way, or they haunt you because you spent money on a blind buy and now you're annoyed. This month, 8 perfumes refused to fade into the background. One became a full-blown obsession, one was such a disappointment, I'm side-eyeing my own decision-making, and one fragrance, one that I used to love, might actually be on its way out of my collection. Not because it's bad, it's because I have changed. So today I'm going through every perfume that defined my May. The highs, the lows, and the layering combo that accidentally exposed a problem. Let's get into it. First up, best everyday perfume of the month. And this one wins by a landslide. It is none other than Nihilo's Blue Talisman. You saw this coming, right? I genuinely couldn't stop thinking about this fragrance. I already talked about it last month, but really, every morning my hand just reached for this one. And at some point I had to stop myself and forced myself to use something else. It's just refreshing without being a basic citrus. It is so versatile. I wore it to the grocery store, I wore it to the office, I wore it while I was just existing in my garden, and it never felt wrong. It has that sparkling, almost mineral freshness, like cool water running over smooth stones, but something slightly fruity from the pear and something also creamy even underneath that keeps it from being sharp. It's elegant, but it is also very effortless. Like you are not trying hard, but you smell expensive. If you have been looking for a signature scent for the warm weather that doesn't smell like every other freshie on the market, put your nose on this one. Now let's move on to the best special occasion scents. And here, I'm gonna be honest with you, I didn't really go out this month. So mostly I had low-key meetups with friends and family. So this category almost felt like it shouldn't exist. But I have one. It is Louis Vuitton's Attrape Rev. It earned it anyway. So yes, another boring repetition. I know. The thing is that this month was just super busy and I didn't have time to really think about my fragrances too much. So I was just gravitating towards the perfumes that I recently discovered and been enjoying since. So this has been calling my name whenever the weather leans a little bit warmer and I want to feel a little bit more put together. It's that perfect balance. It is sophisticated enough for an event, but it is also not heavy that, you would feel overdressed for a casual dinner. This is one of those perfumes where when someone hugs you, we'll just go that, you smell good. It is just that perfume that has this warm, radiant quality, like catching golden hour light. Sweet, but not edible, feminine, but not juvenile. It's one of those scents that make me feel like I have my life together, even when I definitely don't. So, okay, best office wear. And this is a fragrance combination because, yeah, usually I don't layer, but sometimes one perfume is just not enough. So this was this month Narciso Rodriguez Pure Musk Blanc layered with Parfums de Marly Valaya together. So they created this fresh, clean, slightly floral, slightly fruity bubble around me. Not too sweet, but still quite prominent, quite loud. And it just smelled like you showered with really expensive soap and then you walked through a field of white flowers. What I love about this combo was especially the longevity. Both of these basically lost for forever on my skin, which is rare for this kind of clean scent profiles. Usually, fresh musks disappear in 2 or 3 hours, but not these. I would spray them in the morning before work and still catch some wafts at around 4 p.m. This combination is perfect for warmer office days when you're sitting close to people and you just want to make sure that you kind of create a pleasant experience. It's approachable, professional, but still interesting. Now, the best rediscovery of the month, and this feels like coming home. It is Nobile 1942 La Danza, and the rest you will figure out. And this is just beautiful. It has an apple note in the top combined with the warmest, most beautiful musky vanilla. As you can see, the dent will not lie. I have been loving this and I'm just so happy that on one day I just reached for it and I rediscovered how beautifully shines this one in a little bit warmer weather. As said, it is a gorgeous sweet apple vanilla scent, but it is not too thick, not too syrupy or heavy. It is just a light gourmand. It's airy, it's effervescent, and I really love how the apple is made in this one. It is crisp, fresh, not that super baked, spiced winter vanilla. I even clearly remember discovering this, I think it was through Fragrantica a couple of years ago, and I was thinking that it will just smell so perfectly on a spring afternoon. And honestly, yeah, it is just true. All right, let's talk about the biggest disappointment of the month. And this is big. Atelier des Ors Pink Me Up. And it is so, so, so stupid. Because, stupid me, blind bought this on a deal. It was a good deal. Because I know that I saw the bottle, it's stunning, and especially after falling in love with Blue Madeline, I was like, gold flakes, floating pink juice. There is quite some hype around it as well, so how bad could it be? It's bad, at least for me. The champagne note in this, yeah, I don't know. I don't know what it is, but it turns me off. It reads almost like the fragrance is slightly off. And then there is this musk in the base, and I have to say that I don't vibe with it. It's the kind of musk that sits on my skin and feels scratchy. Somehow it's not smooth. It might be that it's my skin chemistry or the weather, but I don't know. It didn't work out for me. And I wanted to love this so much. The packaging is gorgeous, the concept is fun, but every time I spray it, I'm reminded that blind buying is basically gambling with your nose. And this time, I lost. If you love champagne notes, you might feel completely different, but for me, no. But speaking of blind buys, here is one that actually paid off, and it is none other than L'Anthropiste White Blood. Now, this is super juicy, very tangy, and refreshing in a way that, makes your mouth water a little bit. And that initial spray is it's like biting into something very bright, very citrusy, almost mouth puckering. And I think this is the combination of the citruses, and I think it has star fruit in it. But give it a moment, because then something will change, because it has that milky, creamy background that will slide underneath this freshness and it will soften it up a little bit. It will be still bright, still very, very lively, but now it will have basically a smooth, almost lactonic quality around it that will make it feel very unique. It is not a typical freshie at all, but one thing, it is definitely not a blind buy safe fragrance. I was just lucky. The tanginess and the milkiness together, yeah, that's the combination I think that can easily go wrong on someone else's skin. So please sample it first. I'm very serious. Now, let's move on to the best perfume I've been sampling this month. And I'm currently, let's just say, staring at my phone, refreshing the website where I got this sample of Danam mango sticky rice. I got it, by the way, from the site Woodberg. If you are based in Germany or Western Europe, then it is just a nice site where you can get these small decants and samples of many, many niche perfumes. Now, mango sticky rice. I still have a little bit left in the sample, but basically this is a very fruity, very cheerful, and genuinely fun fragrance. It is a gourmand, but somehow it is something that will work in summer, so you can call it a summer gourmand, which, to be honest, I'm saying, like, yeah, it should be illegal. The mango is so good. It's ripe, it's juicy, it's sweet. It's not too candy-like or artificial. And then, of course, there is this sticky rice accord that gives that creamy, almost comforting warmth underneath. It smells like a dessert at, let's say, a night market, in the best way possible, of course. This is basically what I wanted Chasing Sunset to be, which was, by the way, a quite big fail for me, unfortunately. So I'm almost done with this sample, and now I'm just really waiting for it to come back on stock on Woodberg. And I have to say, patience is not my strongest suit. So if you love fruity gourmands, but you always find them too heavy for warm weather, then this might be something that you would like to check out. And finally, my favorite layering combination of the month, and it was Montal's Lucky Candy layered with Mon Paris EDP from YSL. And these two together, they smell so good. Sweet, slightly tropical from the Lucky Candy with that fruity floral brightness from Mon Paris. They complemented each other very beautifully. But there was one thing, and here I'm gonna be honest with you, and I have to be honest with myself. This layering combination opened my eyes to something. I only use Mon Paris for layering now. I never reach for it on its own anymore. And that's just a little bit of a problem. I used to love this perfume. I even went through an entire small bottle of it back in the days. It was in my regular rotation, and now it is just a kind of supporting actor, a kind of background dancer. It never gets the lead role anymore, and I'm genuinely asking myself, does she still belong to my collection, or am I just keeping it just because of nostalgia? Because the only way I enjoy this perfume is by covering half of it with something else. Or I don't know, maybe it's time? I haven't decided yet, but this layering experiment, yeah, it might have just put Mon Paris on notice. So this was my May report card. We had one obsession, one blind buy fail, a rediscovery, and one perfume that might be on its way out soon. And this is, to be honest, why I love doing these monthly roundups. It is not just a list what I wore, but actually looking back at my collection with fresh eyes. Because, sometimes you don't realize that a perfume isn't working for you anymore until you say it out loud. But now I'm curious, what was your most worn perfume in May? And is there a fragrance in your collection that might be getting the boot soon? Let me know in the comments. If you enjoyed this video, then please give it a thumbs up and share it with a friend who also has too many perfumes and not enough arms to wear them all. And until the next time, just keep on smelling good and feeling good. Bye bye.